Hey guys, so today I'm super excited to show you a recap of what happened in 2019 on this channel. To start off, let's see how this channel did in 2019.
So right here we have the subscribers, time watched, and views for 2019. Sorry that the screen's a little bit weird. I'm filming my computer with my phone because I don't know how to just like film on my computer. And that is pretty much the majority of all these analytics. Like if I change it to lifetime real quick, I'll let you guys see the difference. So lifetime, each one doesn't go up a whole lot. So pretty much this whole channel, like the majority of this growth has happened in 2019, and I'd like to thank you guys a bunch because obviously, you know, you guys are the watching it, viewing it, and subscribing. So without you guys, it'd just be a bunch of videos. So thank you guys so much, and now on to new things and new projects.
Besides getting 7.5 times more subscribers in 2019, I also set up a lot of terrariums, paludariums, and aquariums. So let's see the main things that I did in 2019. To start off the year, I built this awesome green iguana enclosure. It's one of my favorite builds, and it's one of my most well-received videos. Right after that, I upgraded my 30-gallon community fish tank to a 55-gallon blackwater fish tank that I still have set up today, though it isn't quite blackwater anymore. After that, the next major thing I did in the year is I met Shelled Reptiles. He's a really cool guy and a really awesome YouTuber. Definitely go check him out. He traded me a 75-gallon for a box turtle that I had taken in just a few days earlier. He breeds them, so I was pretty excited to get it to him, and here is the 75-gallon. My next project was that I had the opportunity to set up two tanks for the school that I go to. I'm in the high school, but or I was in the middle school, but these tanks were in the elementary school, and it was just a really cool opportunity to set them up with some native species. Both of them had turtles in them, one painted turtles and the other one red-eared sliders. Next, I accidentally bred Cory catfish. First, they bred in my community tank, and then I moved them into their own tank where they bred, and here are some of the babies today. For spring break, we went down to Florida. I had the awesome opportunity to go herping in Florida. I caught a lot of very cool things, saw a lot of really cool things, a lot of invasive species down there, which is pretty cool to me. Actually, most of the things that I found really cool were invasive species. Caught a ton of stuff, went herping, saw lots of alligators, only saw one iguana. Sorry for like the weird sentence down there. This is from an old video. I actually caught a turtle right beside an alligator. That was pretty cool. There was an alligator. I didn't find this, but somebody had it. And we went on a boat ride. It was a very cool thing. Here's a tropical house gecko and a Cuban tree frog that we caught. Two videos that have done really well on this channel are my two snapping turtle videos. First, I set up a 20-gallon paludarium or riparium for a little tiny snapping turtle, and then later on I set up a 40-gallon riparium for the same snapping turtle just a couple months later. They grow surprisingly fast. It's pretty crazy. But these videos did really well, and I really enjoyed keeping the snapping turtle for a short time. I then set up a 30-gallon terrarium for my very first crested gecko, Darwin here. I upgraded her from a 20-gallon to a 30-gallon, and I think it turned out really, really well. This is what it looks like today. Once I got Teddy, the baby crested gecko, I set him up in this 5-gallon, but he is now in a 20-gallon tank that Darwin was originally in. So, she has grown quite a bit since I have gotten her, and I took her in from my brother. During summer, I was given this 300-gallon stock tank. My dad actually got it from his work, but I was able to set it up for all my turtles, which there was, I think I had around 10 turtles at the time. I don't have that many right now, but I set it up, and this was really, really big and really cool, my biggest setup yet. I was able to go on another trip this year. I went to the beautiful Arizona in the west, visited a friend, and went herping. Found tons of awesome species. Also visited the Grand Canyon. It was just really amazing. Also went to a couple rivers, went hiking a lot, and always had my eye out for lizards and spiders and different bugs and basically anything I could get my hands on. Very, very cool experience. While I was there, I worked on my friend's paludarium that I set up last year and renovated it a little bit. Turned out really, really nice. And then I also set him up a 10-gallon paludarium. It's not set up now currently because it didn't do super well after I left. So I don't know if I'll be going back, but if I am, then I will definitely work on fixing it. When I got back from Arizona, I set up my friend Michael a leopard gecko bioactive vivarium, and this one was kind of practice for mine, and I think it turned out really good, really cool, and you'll be seeing more about Michael later in this video. He's where I've gotten quite a few fish and stuff. Sometimes he just gives me stuff. At the end of summer, I took down the 75-gallon that I got from Shelled Reptiles from outside, and I set it up inside to put my turtle Norman into it, and then eventually the turtles that are in the 300-gallon pond. And here I am filling it up. The next thing I set up was a 20-gallon vertical vivarium for Shelled Reptiles. He needed one for his Crested gecko. I gave him one cost-free. I really like what he's doing over there at his facility, I guess. He has a lot of turtles and tortoises. I find it very cool. So I made him this tank, and he seems to enjoy it quite a lot. By the way, this footage is from his channel, so definitely go check out his channel. While I was working on his vivarium, I was also working on my leopard gecko's vivarium. This was only my second leopard gecko's vivarium, and I think it turned out really cool. There's definitely some changes that I would make, but I'd never actually done one quite to this extent with this type of layout, very busy looking and everything. But even still, I think it turned out really pretty cool, and the background took forever. Definitely one of my cooler builds, I think. At the end of the year, I started doing 3 things that I think are probably the coolest things that I did throughout this year. And the first one here is that I've begun to be able to handle my green iguana. This is after years of having him. I finally started to be able to work with him, and we both get something out of it. He gets food, and I get to handle him, which I think is just absolutely amazing. So you'll be seeing more videos about this in the future. Now, the other thing is that I got 6 crested geckos. I did not keep all 6. I kept 3 of them, and the other 3 went to Shelled Reptiles. Before I got them, I contacted him and I said, would you buy 3 of these off of me if I got them? So I sold them to him the same price I paid for them, but I got 3 for the price of what 1 normally is, like a pet store, or maybe a little bit more than what 1 normally is. I thought it was a really good deal, and I hope to breed these in 2020. The last thing that has happened in 2019 is that I started room renovations, and my room looks completely different. Those videos will be coming out in 2020. I just haven't had time to edit them yet, but it's going to be very, very cool. That was a pretty crazy year, and thank you guys for watching throughout the entire year. Now, here's some statistics when it comes to the animals. I took in a total of 43 animals in 2019. 19 of those being reptiles, the rest either being, one of those was an amphibian and the rest were fish. So 43 total animals, 19 were reptiles, 30 of the animals were kept, and 8 of those animals were reptiles that were kept. So now I'm going to go through and show you all the animals and the dates that I got each animal and explain why I might not have that animal now. Most of them were just rehomed, and which was generally the plan when getting them, just finding animals a better home. All the turtles that I rehomed, all of them went to ponds. I think one went to somebody with a fish tank, but it was a really good sized fish tank. So pretty proud of what I've done this year, and I'd like to show you guys. To start off the year, on February 1st, I received Brandy, a yellow-bellied slider that I later rehomed, and Penny, an eastern box turtle that Shelled Reptiles traded a 75-gallon aquarium to me for. On March 26th, I brought home Orgalorg, a Cuban tree frog that was caught wild in Florida because they're invasive in Florida, and Gunter, a tropical house gecko that I caught wild in Florida because they're invasive in Florida. Orgalorg I later rehomed, and Gunter sadly died, just didn't make it in captivity. It was just a hard adjustment. On April 27th, I got Bruce and Norman, both quite large, 20-plus year old red-eared sliders. Bruce I rehomed, and Norman I still have today. May 5th, I took in a snapping turtle. I named him Martin, and I just was keeping him temporarily for somebody who just couldn't keep him for the moment, so I eventually gave him back. May 27th, I got Teddy. Teddy came from North Carolina. Teddy is a crested gecko that my brother bought, couldn't keep any longer, and sent back with my parents. My parents visited North Carolina, sent back to me. June 9th, I received Phoebe, a red-eared slider that I still have today, as well as 13 goldfish and a bunch of feeder minnows. I have about 4 of those feeder minnows today. I think they were somewhere in the teens before. I think they were in with the snapping turtle at some point. On June 20th, I received Sweet Petunia, an eastern box turtle. Now, I was kind of just the middleman in this situation. Michael actually wanted this turtle. Somebody had it, and I picked it up and kept it for a couple days while Michael was out of town. July 7th, I got Holiday, the common pleco that Michael gave me. Sadly, this pleco died of I put it outside. I left it too long into the winter, and I didn't bring it in soon enough. On July 9th, I received Shelby and Vanellope, both female red-eared sliders, and I rehomed these to, I think, 2 separate people that have like nice outside turtle ponds. On July 26th, I received Petey, the Mississippi map turtle, quite a sickly turtle, and one that I am currently treating today. On August 3rd, I received Diato, is a goldfish that Michael actually won at a fair. I was with him when he won it. He won a couple, but Diato is the only one that survived, and now I have Diato with all my other goldfish. August 17th, I picked up Elizabeth, the leopard gecko. Her original name was Tater Tot, and I still have her today. October 20th, I got Timothy, the beta, also from Michael. He took it in from somebody, and he gave it to me. On December 13th, I picked up 3 guppy fish that somebody no longer wanted, and I still have them. On December 24th, I bought 6 crested geckos. 3 I later rehomed to Shelled Reptiles, and 3 I still have and are going to possibly be bred. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this year. In 2020, we're looking at more in-depth and higher quality videos, and I already have a ton of content to show you guys, and I'm super excited about it. Have a fantastic year, and subscribe to see what's coming.